At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Remember last year's amazing trip? That cute first birthday party? All those photos, all those memories can be freed from your phone with a Shutterfly photo book. Rediscover and share your favorite moments with those you love. You'll be amazed how easy it is to make a photo book with Shutterfly and enjoy it for years to come. Get 40% off orders over $29 with code POD40 at Shutterfly.com and make something that means something.
This is Optimal Living Daily. Why it's time to start being selfish by Eric Ungs with Sidebar.com. And I'm Justin Malik. Welcome back to a Sunday bonus episode where I give you a little extra content from a podcast in our network that I think will also help you live a life that's a bit more meaningful and happier. And today's episode is coming from Optimal Relationships Daily. So without further ado, here's Greg with another post as we optimize your life.
Why It's Time to Start Being Selfish by Eric Ungs with Sidebar.com. When we live and function from a place within our authentic self, everything about our truth, our soul, our purpose transcends into the outer world. When traveling this journey called life, we seem to hit a point where we want to find meaning for it all. We need to find that deeper, burning desire inside of us, the thing that we're called to do. We have this itch to know what our life's purpose is. We first look to the outside world to try and fill that void of purposelessness. We look to things to foster a deeper connection, things to try to help identify who we are and what we should be doing in our lives. We then realize that we aren't any closer to finding meaning from when we first started. Looking outside of ourselves in pursuit of such connection takes us further away from the very thing we wish to find. We continue consuming and feeding our ego in hopes that we find meaning. In reality, this pursuit of finding things to get us closer to an answer is a cover-up for the fear that we have of being our authentic selves. Quote, "To be alive is the biggest fear humans have. Death is not the biggest fear we have. Our biggest fear is taking the risk to be alive, the risk to be alive and express what we really are. Just being ourselves is the biggest fear of humans." End quote. That's by Don Miguel Ruiz. To seek our truth, we must look within ourselves. It's not so much looking as it is intentionally shedding away the layers that have accumulated over our life, disguising our truth. You see, our primary purpose in life concerns just one thing, being our true self. Our secondary purpose is doing. When we live and function from a place within our authentic self, everything about our truth, our soul, our purpose transcends into the outer world. Meaning ensues. It's no longer a pursuit of something we yearn to build, but rather it becomes a way of life, our being. Let life live through you. Your calling or vocation is the byproduct. The foundation to selflessness is selfishness. Being selfish, not in the egotistic feed the bad wolf kind of way, but the self-care kind, is the foundation to seeking your true self. Selfishness is committing to traveling a journey of intentional self-growth to get to the core of who you are. Practicing self-care strengthens your mindfulness muscle. The space between stimulus and response widens. The lens in which you see yourself and the world around you changes. What once was just thoughtless reaction, you now have a choice into how you respond. As life lives through your truth and transcends into your outer world, everything it touches becomes enhanced. It directly impacts your work, your art, your relationships, your family. It uncovers your calling in offering your unique abilities to the world. If you are unfaithful to your true self, other people suffer. You start to make promises you can't keep. You feed off of conflict. Your dreams turn into nightmares. You look to being busy as a product of productivity and a measure of success. You gloss over the mundane and become infuriated with the trivial things that sprout up, all while your ego is gaining strength and grinning. Remaining faithful to your true self is the bridge that connects you to serving your outer world wholeheartedly. You see, being selfish is exactly what you should be doing if it's meaning and purpose that you seek. finding space within your daily grind to practice self-care and peel back those layers one by one to rediscover who you are. When you take care of yourself first, you give your best self to others. This manifests the best kind of work, art, relationships, and creativity you can give. Start being selfish to be in stride with your muse. No sidebar at work. Professional development is offered by most organizations, and loads of informative resources are at your fingertips. But this lends us to believe that we are to show up as only slices of ourselves in different places. Thus is why self-care practices in the workplace are becoming ever so popular. It breaks the barrier between a work life and a personal life and offers just one life. Self-care and mindfulness in the workplace strengthens employees as people. It improves emotional intelligence. It fosters compassion. It strengthens empathy. It reduces stress, anxiety, and conflict. Toxic relationships no longer flourish. Take your mindfulness practice to work with you. No sidebar at home. Self-care is a prerequisite to traveling the depths of a healthy marriage. Oftentimes, we find ourselves coasting, thinking that walking down the aisle saying I do was the hardest part. A marriage that coasts is doomed to fail. And just as self-care is necessary for marriage, it's essential for parenting. Being intentional about your own self-growth opens you to a whole new world of parenting. It provides space to showcase your imperfections. It opens up vulnerability and honesty to the family. You practicing self-care and mindfulness sets the stage for your children to do the same. Parenting is mostly about how you engage with the world. It's the wholehearted parenting way. No sidebar in your soul. Self-care is the practice of getting to your soul and living your truth. When you wholeheartedly give your best self to others and surrender to the present moment, your legacy starts to build before other people's eyes. Self-care opens up a space for stillness. In this fast-paced world we've come to find ourselves in, the practice of self-care uncovers a newly found joy in the quiet. This is where self-growth occurs. This is where your true values and priorities begin to take shape. This is where a personal manifesto ensues. True selflessness is present upon being selfish first. You just listened to the post titled, Why It's Time to Start Being Selfish by Eric Ungs with NoSidebar.com.
As a small business owner, you never clock out, and neither does LinkedIn Jobs. While you're running your business, LinkedIn Jobs is running a powerful search for your next great hire. We've been lucky finding our team here at Optimal Living Daily, and I think LinkedIn Jobs would have taken luck out of the equation, finding us the best quickly. Post your job for free or pay to promote, and let their intelligent matching system connect you with candidates who align with your company's needs. Their new feature helps craft the perfect job description in minutes, putting your opportunity in front of qualified talent that matters. Want to amplify your reach? Add a hashtag hiring frame to your profile picture to double your qualified applicants, or upgrade to a promoted post for 3 times more qualified candidates. The results speak for themselves. Approximately 72% of small and medium-sized businesses on LinkedIn say that LinkedIn helps them find high-quality candidates. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/selection. That's linkedin.com/selection to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
We're so done with new year, new you. This year, it's more you on Bumble. More of you shamelessly sending playlists, especially that one filled with show tunes. More of you finding Geminis because you know you always like them. More of you dating with intention because you know what you want. And you know what? We love that for you. Someone else will too. Be more you this year and find them on Bumble.
Okay, and a great post from Eric, which we thank him for. Surely, as people who are here to learn about relationships, the word selfish can seem far from useful. So it's important to look into a post like this and gain perspective on how and when to use it. And I hope that was done today. If we really consider selfishness beneath the surface, we of course find that it's necessary to a certain degree. And if in a good-hearted effort you've crafted a life for yourself that's free of selfishness, you might find yourself falling into the role of martyr from time to time, distanced from your own values and constantly managing people's reactions to you. A certain degree of selfishness, when used with appropriate intention and frequency, makes you an individual, and it helps you express that individuality. And as far as relationships are concerned, That individuality is, of course, a major piece of the puzzle when it comes to having successful ones. So don't sleep on selfishness. It is as layered as anything else. It's time to wrap up now, though, everyone. I hope you were able to hear this episode today with an open mind, that you enjoyed it and found it stimulating. Definitely a lot to consider here. So go off and contemplate, and I will see you again tomorrow for another post where your optimal life awaits.